Happy Monday. Thanks for being here with us on a Monday morning. If you remember, we decided this year to do a couple updates in the morning and a couple in the afternoon because we know afternoons don't work for everyone and we never tried the morning. So one of the recommendations from Staff Senate was that we maybe do some in the morning. So thank you for being here bright and early on Monday morning with us. As you were here and enjoying each other's company, I always hate to break up the laughter. You did see on the screen our new hires and our promotions that we have. So I do ask if any of these individuals are in the room right now, if they would stand up so we can clap for you and welcome you. Thank you. And of course, some of these individuals are working or on a different shift, and so we welcome you to our Delaware Tech family. The other thing, I've been asked to be the bearer of bad news, which sometimes is a campus director's job, right? As some of you may have noticed, oops, Russ, I did it wrong. Hold on the second one, right? You got it, there you go. Email is down this morning. I did get a message right before I came in here that email will probably be down the entire day. I know. How will we function in this world? Believe me, I started getting hives over it. Karen said it'll be okay, Bobby. I said, I don't know. I did talk to our great IT team. Our email server is very, very old. I mean, that's the bottom line. You might remember last week we had a small glitch one morning. They were able to fix it. It's housed at our Stanton campus. It serves the whole state, our whole system. The fix is not going to be quite as easy today, but the gang is on it, and as soon as we know anything about it coming up, we will let you know, most likely by a MyDTCC post, because MyDTCC is not impacted today. It was the other day. So we can still do banner, we can still do all those other things, we just will not have email. So for those of you that are instructors, please, and going into the classroom, please let your students know too. This will be the time that they actually use their Delaware Tech email, right? Former dean, sorry, I had to say that. So I wanted to share that with everyone. Not such good news, but wanted to share. The other thing that I wanted to share is you can still get your socks to rock your socks on Wednesday, March 21st for World Down Syndrome Day. I had to pick up 5 extra pair this morning because some of you know I coach a special needs athletes team, and I gave them to them on Saturday so we could all rock our socks on the 21st, and they all want them for their friends. So I'm getting more, and we're all going to rock our socks, so I hope that you will as well. You can see the OTA team, and I believe there they are waving. All the proceeds goes back to Down Syndrome Association, so it's a fundraiser, great way to give back, and we can all wear our crazy socks on the 21st. And they're especially cute this year. They have like emojis and birds and all musical notes, so very cute. So grab those. All right, so welcome to our update this morning. You know, we always like to celebrate and think about our top 3 or our big 3, and on this screen we capture a little bit of those. So we capture here student and employee success as well as our Fitness Fridays. So this great group of individuals here is the team that helped us have an incredibly successful social media conference on campus, sold out again for the, 5th year in a row, something like that. So this team is our planning team, and we certainly couldn't have done that without them. The group in the middle are these crazy Friday walkers that you might see in the hallway. This is a small group one week, but every week the group is a little different. One of the things I love about it is we always have different divisions represented. So it's not just instruction, it's not just marketing, it's not just student affairs, there's administrative services, we get IT in there sometimes, we catch them in the hallway, we make them go with us, and then we count them in our numbers. Fitness Friday, just a little reminder that this Friday at 1:30 in the afternoon, we're gonna play volleyball in the gym. So we need people to play volleyball. I will tell you, last month we played kickball, and there were 7 of us, and I thought I was gonna have a cardiac arrest because you have to run the whole time when there's only 7 of you. And so by the end of the time, I said, we are not playing this anymore. So please come out to volleyball so I don't have a cardiac arrest at campus and have to call in my wonderful nursing faculty. So, and then this photo over here, you might recognize this gentleman in the middle. That's Senator Tom Carper. He was on campus not too long ago to celebrate our med lab renovations with some folks from Siemens that donated some money for that renovation. Of course, we have our own Linda Collins there, and lots of our students. So celebrating student success as well, and great partnerships. So welcome to today's update. I have a few brief points to share. One of them is that our Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming up. And this year, we're going to honor posthumously Joe Zonko. Who in the room remembers Joe? Yeah, great guy, right? Well deserved. So Joe worked at Administrative Services, for a very, very long time. He passed away unexpectedly in the end of December, January 1st, 2013. And he just, I got to know Joe for a short period of time here, but the more I talked to Administrative Services and Lynn and those guys, and the work that Joe did for this campus is incredible. So we're going to honor him posthumously. His wife, his daughter, I think his stepdaughter will all be here, and so we hope that you will join us as well. It's Monday, April 23rd, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and we ask that you RSVP to Karen if you want to join us for that wonderful ceremony. Campus Community Day. So it's coming up again. It's the day after graduation, and this year the day before employee recognition. So we're going to be a busy group around here. So Kelly and Jen could not be here today because of other commitments, but this is our 6th year of the event. Over 100 employees volunteer every year. Some past projects include indoor campus beautification, outdoor campus beautification, campus service projects, off-campus community service projects like the food bank, the little lending library, and in 2014, just like we're doing this year, we're going to do employee recognition preparation. So it will be 10 to noon that day. We'll have lunch, noon to 1:30, and then we'll have some fun activities in the afternoon. So you're going to get more information about this. I'll send the link out that's on here in a Bobby's Blast, so you can click on it, sign up, and join us. That's a day you can kind of wear your jeans and your Delaware Tech gear, and we've been painting, and we've weeded, and I'm trying to think all the things we've done, but it's always a lot of fun for the community to come together. And as we talk about, one of our big 3 is service. What better way to serve than for our own campus? So if you want to join us that day, more information to come. Some potential projects for this year will be some outdoor painting, the food bank, Habitat again this year, and then just getting ready for employee recognition, okay? Any questions about our 2018 Campus Community Day? Who has participated in the past? Raise your hand. Awesome. Well, I hope that all of you and more will join us this year for a day of giving back and fun with our colleagues. Okay, so who has noticed that there's a little road work going on out front? This morning, I was on my Bluetooth, not holding my phone, talking to my mother, and I was waiting to turn left, in here at the fountain, and I was being very patient because there were lots of cars, and the gentleman out there, and I'm talking to my mom, okay, I'm at, I might have to get off the phone here. And the gentleman with the slow sign steps in front of the oncoming traffic to stop them on the stop sign. And I didn't think he was going to stop. I was screaming in my car. My mom thought something was going on. The man did stop coming eastbound, but this far away from the poor man with the stop sign. So I'm a little nervous about the road work out there, but I did want to revisit kind of what's going on. So basically, if you can look here, I know it's not a super great picture, and I can email it to you guys if you want, but we're in phase 1 right now, okay? So obviously they're working on this entrance across the street for the new hospital, which sits right here. And they also decided to do our new entrance at the same time. That was originally not part of the plan, but I'm glad that they did that. So we're now going to have an entrance, as you guys have probably seen, kind of aligned with right off of the library here. So they're working on this entrance, they're working on this entrance, they're widening this a little bit. That's phase 1, okay? So that's what they're working on out there. Phase 1A is going to be the installation of the traffic signal. Okay, yes. And I will tell you that Lynn and Scott attend weekly meetings over there to make sure that the college's best interests are being kept in mind. We had some drainage issues last week. That would be an understatement, right, Lynn? But that we did get them here and put another pipe in, those types of things. So Lynn and Scott are on it to make sure that the improvements out front aren't causing more challenges for the campus. All of this work between the new entrance and down to the red light, the new traffic signal should be done by the end of May. So that's the plan, and hopefully that'll stay. So far, they're staying on track pretty well, and as long as the weather cooperates. The next phase is the interior on our side. So we are going to be closing off the entrance at the fountain that I mentioned earlier. So we're going to be closing that entrance off, and then we will also be closing off the entrance down here, which is closer to the Carter Building. So we will have 2 main entrances on 18404, the new one that they're doing now, okay, and then the one down here where the new traffic signal is going to be, okay? That internal work is going to happen after all the other stuff's done out on the highway itself, but DelDOT, the contractors are well aware of the important dates that we have coming up as far as employee recognition, gala, graduation, and so Lynn and Scott have done a great job of keeping that in front of them, and our entrances will all be open during that time, and we should not really see any challenges going on. So I wanted to give you guys an update because we talked about it in the past, and then all of a sudden work started. And so we are very involved in the conversations and very involved in the project. So if you have any questions, you could ask us now, or you can certainly ask Lynn or Scott at any time, or myself, okay? Any questions about that project? Okay, all right, very good. And then I also wanted to give an alumni update on behalf of our alumni president, Nancy Broadhurst. Did you know that Delaware Tech has produced over 40,000 alumni in the past 50 years? It's a pretty big number. And I often joke, you guys hear me say it, like you can't go anywhere in the community without running into an alumnus, right? I mean, you're in the dental chair and the hygienist is like, yeah, I graduated from Delaware Tech, or somebody's drawing your blood, or you're getting your car fixed at the car dealership. So lots of alum everywhere. And this is the really cool thing to me, I think. We currently have 113 Delaware Tech alumni working at our campus right now. So if you are a Delaware Tech alumnus, would you stand up? And I will call you out because I know who most of you are. Thank you. So congratulations on graduating from an amazing institution. And I'm going to ask those of you that are standing and those of you in the room that know of other alumni on campus, and again, I'll put this out in the Bobby's Blast, but we have alumni pride t-shirts for each of you, and they look a little like this. So it's pretty simple, but it says Delaware Tech Alumni Pride. And we have those for all of our alumni that are working here at the college statewide. And so I ask that you stop by my office anytime. We have, Karen and I just went through the box. We have them all sorted. So if you will stop by and pick up your alumni t-shirt, and I ask that you wear that with pride in the community, wherever you are. And we are proud of you that not only are you our alum, but you chose to come back and work for this great institution. So please stop by our office. Karen's gonna keep track of everybody. I have a list. And here's the scary part: if you don't come for your T-shirt, I'm going to bring one to you. So, and I'm good with that. So whatever, however we do that. So please stop by Karen's. You could do it as soon as today if you like. Okay? So check those out. And then the other thing, I kind of went out of order here, but the other thing is we are having a Delaware Tech alumni, faculty, and staff update meeting because we do have 113 alumni working here at the campus. On Thursday, March 22nd at noon in Meeting Room A, there's going to be an alumni meeting for faculty and staff alumni to figure out ways that you all can get more involved and help us grow our alumni association. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. Before I introduce our next speaker, who is Shirley Murray, I wanted to kind of prep what she's going to be talking about. We have a blood drive every year, and there's some added components this year. And sometimes I think, we think, well, how does that touch us, or how does that, why is that important, and why is it, something maybe we should do? And to me, giving blood, or you're going to learn about stem cell and bone marrow swabs, I guess. How do I give back? Why should I give back? And I just wanted to bring to your attention that we do have a recent grad. His name's Chris Wagner, 2017 nursing grad. Just walked across the stage. Christy said his name last year at graduation. He was hired by BB as an ER nurse right after graduation. And just this January, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he needs a bone marrow transplant, and that's his only cure. And he's a young guy. I think this is an older picture, but he's still pretty young. And I'm also going to share that it's Pam Zickafoos' son-in-law. And so if it doesn't get any closer to home than that. So I thought, as we're celebrating our alumni, and we celebrate our employees, and we celebrate all that's good, and one of our big three is giving back, I thought this is maybe an opportunity for us to see if we could give back. So I'm setting you up here, Shirley, to let us know how we can do that at the next blood drive, which is a little more than what we normally do, right? Okay, so please keep Chris and Pam and their family in your thoughts and prayers, and let's figure out a way to help this young man get what he needs, okay? All right. Shirley?
Good morning. I've been told that I have less than 5 minutes to do this, so I timed it out, got down to 4, but I have a feeling that it's going to go more than 5. Sorry. So on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we're doing a blood drive in the gym, and we are also doing a bone marrow registry drive. What does that mean? Well, first of all, let me talk about the blood drive. Many of you have come in and given blood in the past, and some of you came to our last blood drive in the fall, and it was horrible, and everybody knows that. We were turning people away, and the person who is our contact and runs all the blood drives promised that we will have much better service, more people on staff this time, and we will not be turning people away. So if you haven't and you're still interested, please register to give blood. So if you don't know where to go, www.delmarvablood.org/donate, or you can just hit the schedule an appointment, put in 19947, and we're the first ones on the list. Okay, so DKMS is one of a few organizations that does a registry for stem cell and blood donor or bone marrow donation. So we chose DKMS because they're kind of local. And I know that sounds weird because they're actually housed out of Denmark or Germany or somewhere over there, but they actually have a local site. But blood donation, as you guys know, takes an hour and a half or so to do. And some of us don't have that time in the day when we are at work. So we would like to give you another option to save a life. It's a little more expensive with your time later, but now, not so much. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to check out all of your background history and to swab your cheeks. You swab both cheeks for a minute, inside. Put them in the envelope, you're now on the registry. Okay? So, Bobby has a problem because she travels out of the country frequently, okay? And then, well, no, maybe you can't give blood. Or some people have been deferred because they have antibodies to hepatitis because they've been in contact with it, but they've never gotten hepatitis. And they will never get hepatitis because of those antibodies. But they're permanently deferred, okay? I'm one of those people. I had an accident on the job. I can't give blood for the rest of my life, but now I can give stem cells or bone marrow, okay? So I now have the opportunity to get on a registry and save someone's life. Have you heard of sickle cell? Leukemia, lymphoma, multiple myeloma? Some of us in this room are old enough to and have been here long enough to remember Dr. Rose Arndt. Dr. Arndt, this past fall, underwent a stem cell transplant for her multiple myeloma and is doing very well. She was the head of the MLT department before Barb Wiggins, so it's been a while. She retired in 2002. Okay, so these are all cases, and some cancer cases also are ones that have more choice that need stem cells or bone marrow. So here's the thing. Joanne Cassidy, are you here? Yeah. She's like, I'm all for it. I'm going to register. Yeah, sorry. If you're 56 or higher, they don't want to put you on the registry. And the reason for that is their stipulations with the BMI and with the age we were looking at the donor's health, okay? Sleep apnea is also one of those things because in the medical guidelines that they gave us, they say if you have sleep apnea, no. Because if they have to do a bone marrow transplant, which you have to go under anesthesia for, they're very scared that you might not come out of it, okay? But on the website, if you go on to dkms.org, it says, I have sleep apnea. Can I still give? And they're like, absolutely, because you're okay for peripheral stem cell transplant. So I'm supposed to go by these, but you know what? You have sleep apnea, I'm still going to sign you up because you can still give peripheral stem cells. And stem cells is as easy as giving the double reds. So you sit there hooked up to a machine for a few hours, a couple of days, and you're good. There's no surgical procedure involved, no anesthesia involved. But bone marrow is a little more intense. So first thing is swab the cheeks, okay? Inside of each cheek for 1 minute, it takes a really long time when you're sitting there swabbing one side for a minute. It's gonna feel like forever. But what we do with that is then we look for the human leukocyte antigen markers. There's 10 different ones that they use to tissue type. And if you have a good match, which is usually 8 or 9 out of 10, you may get a phone call that says, we found a match. You can save this person's life. Are you willing? The problem is that a lot of people sign up, register, and then it comes down to it and they say, sorry, no. So we want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, okay? Stem cells are used about 75% of the time. So 3 out of 4 donations are about stem cells. And it doesn't take a lot for that. First thing is they call you, they set up a physical exam for you, okay? They try to make it as local as they possibly can because they only have certain places that are stem cell and bone marrow certified examination sites. So I'm guessing that ours would probably be Baltimore or Philadelphia, which I have not confirmed, but I'm just assuming. And then once you pass your physical and get all that done, then you would go and they're attached to a machine for peripheral stem cells. And they take your blood out, take the stem cells, siphon those off, put the rest of your blood back. Okay. For bone marrow, it'll be a little more complex. For bone marrow, you have to be willing to pretty much give up a week's worth of sick time or vacation time because it'll take 30 to 40 hours over the course of 4 to 6 weeks to get everything done. Okay, and the last part of that will be a surgical procedure under anesthesia, and you're there for at least 2 days. And then you may experience some low back pain after that. Okay, so if you're not great with pain, you don't want to go under anesthesia for some stranger, you don't want to, don't come and see us. I'm sorry, but that's where we are. We want to make sure that you're ready to give your help and your blood products so that you can actually save somebody who's dying of cancer. So, if you're ineligible, Joanne, okay, DKMS has to pay for every registry and the testing that goes with it. And the testing, the lady on the phone told us that it's $65. The website says $45. So it's $45 to $65 for every time that they register a new donor. Okay, so we will be taking monetary donations, okay, or you can give online. Give the donor drive code of DTC002, and then it'll go to us. It'll be credited to our drive, okay? But it is one of those things where, you know, some some have sleep apnea, overweight, can't, you know, we've got this sedentary lifestyle. Too old, you know, have some personal history that is medically unfit, then, you know, maybe this is the best way to go, okay? But again, if you're not up for a surgical procedure to save someone's life, maybe you just want to go and give blood. So again, delmarablood.org, and come and see us on Wednesday. If you don't want to do any of those, just come see us anyway, because we're going to have food and bake sale, and we have a 50-50 drawing going on, and we have something special. One of our students who actually has stage 4 pancreatic cancer donated a jar with 6 to 7 years worth of pennies in it and threw in 100 gold pieces, gold dollars. If you get the closest without going over, you win the money. So we're doing $5 chances on that one because we already know it's well over $100. So that's yet another thing that we have going on. It's his way of contributing to Malta and the MLT program. So thank you very much. I know I went well over 5 minutes. Karen was probably timing me, but it was all for a good cause.
Okay, I'm going to ask Janelle Boyer and Kristen Yenser to come up. They're going to give us an update on gala and employee recognition.
All right, good morning. I am just, my purpose for being here today is to ask for volunteers for our gala. The gala is April 21st this year, and we still are in need of volunteers. And a lot of times when we talk about volunteers, people think that they need to volunteer the Saturday of gala. And this year we have a lot of opportunities the week before gala. And so it could be helping with decorating, if you wanted to assist administrative services and setting up. There's just a ton of opportunities. And so Jennifer Blackwell and Holly Hermstead are our volunteer committee leads. And what they're looking for is if you have time the week before gala, we're just asking for at least a 2-hour time commitment. Obviously you can do more, but a minimum of 2 hours. And if you just go to the link there, and I would ask Bobby if she could send that out on her Bobby Blast as well. If you just go to the link, sign up, and just let Jennifer and Holly know what areas you would be interested in helping with, that would be great. With that said, we do still need volunteers though on the Saturday of gala that evening. And so we just listed a couple of the opportunities that we have. We're going to be doing a construction hallway and a subway hallway. So the subway hallway is in Jason, the construction hallway is in the Arts and Science building here, and we just need actors, just people to really kind of guide the guests, but play the part of a construction worker or a subway worker, and just guide our guests through those areas. So we need approximately, it looks like 8 of those. We do need someone to man our coat room that evening. Jamie, as everyone knows, is our event coordinator, and she could certainly use some assistance that week leading up, and obviously the evening of gala as well. So if you want to learn more about event planning, then tag along with Jamie that week. At the reception area, we still need a couple of additional volunteers as well. And then in our hallways, Erin and Louise are leading up our hallway decorations, and in the Jason building, they're going to be doing, setting up some street vendors. So like a pretzel cart, hot dog cart, popcorn, I think, different things. And so we need some volunteers to help out in that hallway as well. So there's a lot of different opportunities. Like I said, the week leading up to the gala, the night of gala, and we just ask for you to sign up, be a volunteer, go to the link, and just let Jennifer and Holly know what area that you're interested in helping out with. Right, thank you. And Janelle's going to talk about employee recognition.
Good morning. We are very fortunate to be able to be hosting our employee recognition this year. We do that every 4 years, and it's our turn again. And just like last time, 4 years ago, we are going to take that New York City theme right over into the employee recognition, and it's going to be I Love Delaware Tech instead of the I Love New York. So we're really excited about that. Fortunately for us, we are only responsible for lunch afterward and afterward. So the morning ceremony is all from the Office of the President. So ours is the activities and the food that come after that. So that's really nice. Some of the decorations we're going to be using from the gala are the Brooklyn Bridge. We're going to do something with the construction zone materials that Kristen just talked about, and we'll have newsstands and those types of things around the campus, which will be really good. The food, we're going to have some food trucks, and we're going to also have carts, like a popcorn cart and a pretzel water cart, those types of things, a hot dog cart. I know we have most of our food trucks already secured, so that's really exciting, and we have a very wide variety of food. So that's a really great thing. We are also going to have a couple of Lighthouse Cove stations, and one of those stations is actually going to be in the cafeteria, and we're going to decorate that as the Stardust Diner, and our own Nancy Broadhurst is going to be singing during lunchtime, so we're really excited about that, and she's really excited about that, so hopefully our guests will really enjoy that. We also have some activities. We're going to bring virtual reality back. I know for the gala, the virtual reality is going to be as if they were in New York City. I don't know much about virtual reality, so I'm probably not the person to talk about it, but I guess you put these, looks like a mask to me, but whatever it is, and you can actually pretend like you're in New York City with the different visitation and things that you can see. So that's going to be pretty similar to what we'll do for the employee recognition as well. Some of the outside activities we have, we're very fortunate because our campus is so beautiful, so we don't have to plan a lot of activities. But we are going to have some activities planned, and Erin Shutt is responsible for that, and she has come up with some really, really awesome things. We're going to do cornhole, we're going to use our life-size games, we have Jenga and Connect Four, and we may get one more. We're also going to do that, the hula hoop tic-tac-toe, so we're excited about that. Volleyball, and then of course our ag area is going to be doing their traditional plant sale, and this year we get to add the produce sale. And we will have, because our campus is so big, we will have transportation back and forth if necessary for people who cannot do the walking. But we're hoping for a really nice day so we can kind of show off our campus. And we're also going to do a minute to win it. I didn't want to forget that because I know Erin's really excited about that. So of course, we're asking for blood donations, bone marrow, volunteers for the gala, and now here I am saying I need more volunteers for the employee recognition. So Tanya Schaefer is in charge of our volunteers this year, and we've asked Karen Swain to send out an email today that has a link for volunteering, and there's different areas for which you can volunteer, so you get to kind of choose what you want to do. I do want to tell you that Wednesday, Campus Community Day, is designated, like Bobby said earlier, but we have a little tiny problem because Wednesday evening at 4 o'clock, Wednesday afternoon, is Wilmington University's graduation. Last time they were able to, 4 years ago, they were able to have it on Monday. This year it is Wednesday, so we really need that 6 o'clock time frame on Thursday filled. So if you're an early morning person, sign up for that, because that's when we're going to need to be, setting up the cornhole. I mean, admin services will be helping as well, but we do need to, all of that outside activity stuff will need to be designated at that time. So if you can do that, that would be really great. So, all right. So we're really looking forward to it, and we're really looking forward to volunteers. Fortunately, most of the time is actually during the day on campus, so I'm not asking for outside time. So look for that email from Karen today for Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for your leadership in both of those areas, and thank you for everyone that volunteers. I do want to say that if you volunteer, you get a really cool I Love Delaware Tech t-shirt too, right? So there you go. So look for that email later, and now you know why I didn't have a picture of service on that first slide, because you were going to have so many opportunities to be in the next picture for service on the update for the Big Five that I didn't think I had to add a picture today. So next up, because it is that time of year, crazy, crazy time, right, Gail? So we have employee recognition, we have the gala, and we have graduation. So Gail's going to give us a graduation update.
It is hard to believe that graduation is just 2 short months away. And you may remember that our Owens campus graduation date is Tuesday, May 15th at 6:30. We're really excited about 2 new additions surrounding graduation this year, and I want to share those with you today. First, as you see here, we've rolled out a college-wide graduation webpage. And this includes all important, pertinent information about graduation on each campus, as you can see here. This is a one-stop shopping destination for our graduates and their guests, and for us as well. The web address is go.dtcc.edu/graduation, in case you'd like to check it out. You can see here the information about each campus and the graduation ceremonies. You can also see there's a section for students and a section for their guests. And this brings me to our next new addition, as you can see here, our graduation parties. Each campus will host a graduation party for its graduates, And this is a designated day where our graduates may pick up their caps and gowns, complete the graduate survey if they haven't already. They may have a bite to eat. They may visit our alumni table. We're going to have an alumni presence there, and they can speak with members of our alumni. Also, our alumni group is encouraging our graduates to bring a canned good for our campus food drives. Also, they'll be able to visit our career services table, where we'll have information about transfer and next steps in the job search. Follett will have a table. There will be a fun selfie station with props, giveaways. It's just going to be a great day. So one thing that I want to share with you is that we are inviting current students as well, who are also on their path to graduation, so that they can take part in the festivities. So please share that with your students, and you'll be seeing promotional information around campus soon. Our graduation party is scheduled for May 1st, 11 to 6. You can please look for opportunities coming your way to volunteer. We welcome volunteers that day. And I want to thank you in advance for your participation in our graduation events. Thank you.
How many of you have attended our graduation before? Raise your hand. Is it the best event of the year? I mean, it really, really is. I mean, when you're there and you see all the families and all the students, it really makes you realize the good work that we all do. So if you haven't been there and you'd like to be there and can help us out that evening, you know, it will not be a disappointment to you, I'm sure. It'll be outstanding. So Gail, thanks for those updates. I'm glad to hear we don't have as much paper flying around, and we're getting our students to use the technology, and there may be some questions about that. So if you all could share that news. All right, if you remember last employee update, we were running a little late, so Chief Purcell was very kind when I leaned forward to him and said, "Can you go next month?" And he said yes. And so I'm not going to do that to him again today. So why don't we have Galen come up and go over, I guess, two things: the lockdown procedure and the uniform survey, and maybe some other things too, right? Or is Tim coming up? All right, well, come on up, Tim Winstead, Director of Public Safety, Tim Winstead. Sure. Yeah, clap for Tim. He's not going around here.
Now, let's see if this is the right one. No. Galen's going to come up.
Hey, you guys carry guns. You do whatever you want to do.
Well, no claps? Wow, everyone sits in the back.
Yeah.
It's like a room full of cops. Okay, we came in today. Hopefully you were given a survey. Did everyone get a survey? Yeah. Yep, okay. And that's simply, we're doing a little bit of research into the possibility of changing the uniform for the public safety branch here on campus. We have one prototype. I'm wearing it. I was kind of spearheading this thing, so I wore that today. I've had a couple questions about cost. This actually costs less. You can see up there on the left is our current uniform. It looks a little more like a traditional police type uniform. And on the right is what we're calling a softer uniform. Some of the other colleges in the state have gone to that, and some still have a traditional, more like on the left. Here at Del Tech, we have constables, so we're not like a traditional police force. University of Delaware and Del State have full-service police departments on their campus. Wilmington University, Del Tech, and I think Old Vico have more the constable concept. So it's just something we're throwing out there. Our folks had an interest in it, so I kind of, when I was new, I kind of took the bull by the horns and talked to the director and come up with a proposal and all that kind of stuff. So we went to the President's Council, and their recommendation was, get feedback from that's what led to you getting the survey today. It's not a real tough brain tease here. It's basically, which one do you perceive as more approachable? And would you prefer to see public safety in a more traditional or soft uniform? So it's kind of just basically two questions. There's no right or wrong, it's whatever you feel. Everyone has a different opinion on that, and whatever you feel is fine. I think Stanton campus just did the survey last week. I think each campus is doing it, correct? Each campus is gonna do this. So we just asked for your input, and I think when we're done, Mary Beth said we'll collect them on the way out. Mary Beth? Right here. Yeah, take that, we're gonna collect them on the way out, just like this evening. So any questions about this uniform? About the soft one, you're all very familiar with the more traditional one, on the left. Yes, sir?
Whom do you want to seem approachable? Us or the students?
I think everybody, students, visitors, faculty, staff, yeah, everybody.
Angela, and we're gonna ask the students too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a survey to the students as well, but we thought it was important that we also started out with our faculty and staff, because you're here all the time. So we will, so think about it from your perspective, and we'll be asking the students the same type of question, okay? Is that helpful?
Good question. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, how's it working out for those other institutions that have gone to the more, I guess, soft uniform?
I know Wilmington, I have counterparts there that I've spoken to, and, I know their employees like it, and they feel, friends here, come on. If you didn't want to do this, it's quite fine. I saw a print this morning, I stopped in, just to show that, I mean, obviously, everyone's familiar with this. At Wilmington University, my understanding from talking to my counterparts there, which isn't as scientific as taking a survey, it's just the folks that are, that work there, so they feel that they're more approachable, that, obviously, everyone gives us all the faculty, staff, we get to know us, we walk around campus, we get familiar, so we feel comfortable approaching. Some of the students may feel the uniform on the left, this uniform is a little more, I won't say intimidating, but, kind of that police thing or whatever. That's the feedback I get from them, that's not scientific. That was one thing we looked into early on was, well, they're doing it, is it successful or not, and the feedback is not what they said it was. So again, they have to take the surveys that I know. Yes, sir.
Are you able to wear a bulletproof vest with that?
This, oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's important to be approachable, but from looking at it, please no offense, I think you look more casual, he looks professional. And I think in this day, I feel safer with friends. I'm just saying by looks, I mean, I can approach, but that's me, I feel like I can approach either of you, but from a safety aspect, I like friends.
So, Melissa, that's exactly what President's Council was talking about around the table. We said, we have to ask people, because everybody comes at it from a different perspective. So if that's how you feel, then you know what uniform to circle, right? We all are kind of coming from it from a different thought process, right? Approachability versus do I feel more safe? And that was the exact conversation, right, Tim, that we had with President's Council. So that's why we thought, let's get more input, bigger than just us sitting around a table, and see what that looks like college-wide. So, yeah, I mean, we heard that as well, definitely.
Amy, so far.
So I know the criminal justice students that are
Leo?
the helper people. So their uniform is kind of similar to this. If you adopted a uniform like this, would you make sure there was more differentiation? Because I know there's an age thing, but give students of all ages, would it be more clear, who is the official?
You got the Leo?
Yeah, that's
Criminal justice?
yeah.
There.
That.
Oh, the public safety.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Right. Just, they're not armed, obviously, they don't have a duty gun.
Yeah, okay. And that would be the only difference? Okay.
I think here, it wouldn't say constables, it's public safety.
And it's important to note that we also have public safety officers who aren't armed too. So they would
Correct.
have the same
They would have
uniform
this as
as well, they just wouldn't be armed. So we'd have the aides public safety officers and the constables who are armed.
Can both uniforms be used? So one, based upon the event itself. So more of a, like we have graduation or anything coming up, that's the uniforms, the more professional looking, and then more dressed down look, day-to-day operation.
I think the thought was, and we've had internal discussions, is that this would be the day-to-day work uniform, and we would still issue that for graduation and skating and things like that. So there's your question.
Because that's not on here too, both. Based upon-
This would be, I guess this is for like a day-to-day. Good, great question. Yes, sir.
I was thinking instantly recognizable was just as important as approachable.
Stand on the back.
Did you guys hear Dana? He said recognizable as well as approachable. So he said, is this uniform, the soft uniform, recognizable? Right? I just wanted to make sure they heard you there.
Okay, I know you guys are internally asking us whether it's the faculty, staff, students, but do you have studies itself that talk about difference that we can read so we can get opinions on like that?
I don't have it.
I think that'd be very important to be.
I don't know if such stuff exists, so we didn't go that deep.
I'm just thinking, considering what's out there, you know, what we need to portray to maintain some sort of semblance of security itself, that's where I'm coming at. So I don't see what kind of studies we can do.
My knowledge, I was up to art, so I can't answer that. Okay, so again, on your way out, Bill Nealon, on the way out. Thanks for everybody's input. And again, there's no wrong answer, it's just whatever you're feeling. Done yet. Okay. This is something Bobby asked me to put together. Oops. Not quite right there. As you know, we had the lockdown drill last fall, and then we had an actual lockdown. And we learned a lot of things from the actual lockdown and the drill. And one of the things is doors, right? It's kind of like insurance, like a seatbelt. You don't need a seatbelt until you need the seatbelt. You don't need the door lock until you need the door lock. And in case of an emergency, if you need the door lock, it's too late to, well, where do we have a key? We don't have a key and all that kind of stuff. So I put together a very, very simple, and this really is what the practice should be. But I think it kind of ebbs and flows because we have a lot of adjuncts and people, I know every semester, all the faculty's moving around, different classrooms, all that kind of stuff. So basically, I kind of just said this. In moving forward, just want to get everybody on the same page, and if we're all on the same page, I think this would be actually quite simple, okay? If we had all metal door frames on campus, this would be really simple. Because it's a metal door frame, which is the vast majority of classrooms on campus. We got the little magnets, right? They go in the door frame. And what do? We slide the magnet down with the little latch, and the door doesn't lock, right? So the door is always locked. Slide the magnet down, door is locked, you can come and go. When you're done your class, turn off the lights, just leave. Admin services can get to the room at night if they have to clean and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very simple with the doors with the metal door frame. The vast majority of doors on campus. Just keep the magnet over the door lock of the latch. Heaven forbid there's an actual lockdown or emergency. It's as simple as move the magnet up, close the door. You're locked. Don't have to think about it. No higher thinking here or under stress. Very, very simple. There is an exception here with like the computer labs and Jason, some of the med labs, because they have sensitive things in there, a lot of computers, that kind of stuff. That won't change what we do now. You have to go get a key either from the front desk or from the department chair or whatever. So that'll stay the same for those rooms that are designated as that have to be locked all the time. Again, it's not that many of them, but that's kind of how it is now, and that's gonna stay that way. But for all the other classrooms, metal door frame, just slide the magnet down, basically just leave it there. If there's an emergency, slide the magnet out, pull the door, close. Yes, sir.
I have a question for you. If we have a shooter that breaks in or whatever, we have two classrooms that are almost 100% visible through the windows. Are those bulletproof windows?
No.
So there's nothing that my students can do then if somebody starts shooting through this?
Yeah, windows are a special concern. We talked about blinds, we talked about curtains, things like that. There are, I know like the technology down in Jason there's a couple places in Carter that have that. The computer labs, in Jason, that's something we've had internal discussions, that's a concern. But that's a special case as far as, having those big glass windows. So that is talked about, I don't have a solution for you right now, but in addressing doors. So any questions about the metal doors? Okay.
So whoever's at the last person in there in the evening should leave the magnet on too. It's okay that the doors are unlocked all the time. So I think that has been some confusion. People take that out at the end of the night, and then first thing in the morning, you can't get in. So then, you know, if you're like me, always running late, that's a bit of an issue.
So just keep that in mind. I know Christy and Leslie, you'll share this with the adjunct faculty, you're typically here in the evening. Yeah.
Okay, and just to not keep things simple, we have wood frame doors, right? In the Horseshoe and Jason, I know we have wood frame doors. So I wasn't a science major, but it was the magnet stick to the wood frame doors. Those stick. So that presents a special challenge, which has been addressed by the doors in the Horseshoe. All have like a foot pedal, a little annoying thing you kind of kick down, right? And it can prop the door open. So it's kind of the same concept there. Those doors will always remain locked. And when you come into class, while you're holding your class, just move the foot pedal up, close the door. If you want to close the door, you'll leave it open, that's fine. The door's locked. There's a lockdown, you're set. When you're done in class, as soon as you open the door, kick the foot pedal down, leave it open for the next person, turn off the lights and you're done. That's all we got to do for the wood frame doors. I know in Carter, that's a special case, they kind of have those crash apart doors. I spoke to Brian Rogers the other day. I think the solution will be to put the kick pedals down there as well. So that's something we got to explore a little more. But for the vast majority of the doors on campus, the wood frame doors in the Horseshoe and all the metal frame doors, it's a fairly easy solution. Yeah, there's certain ones remain locked. I already mentioned that, like the computer labs and whatnot. So to summarize, last slide, metal frame door, use the magnet. Just leave it down, and really nothing to worry about. Just leave it down all the time. Wood frame, just use the kick pedal. When you're done class, the door is going to be locked. When you're done class, don't close it, because the next faculty member, now they're going to be locked out. So just leave the door open. It's the wood frame door. And the computer specialty lab rooms, they'll stay the way they are now. You have to go get a key for that, just because of the expensive equipment that's inside of them. So any questions on that? I know Carter we have to address, and certainly the windows, whatnot, with blinds and so forth. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Just very quickly on the uniform, don't make that decision more than it is. Okay, it's just what uniform would you prefer to see public safety? I can tell you that if as the campus updates, we're doing the employees first. If the overwhelming consensus is that the preference would be to keep the uniform as is, there's no need to do a student survey. So just what would you prefer for public safety? That's all it is. That's the question. So we've had some questions, particularly after the event in Florida. You know, what is the college doing to keep us safe? So the college has taken many steps over the last 5 or 6 years, but I thought I would just go over some of those rather quickly. So every day you come to campus, you see armed constables in the public safety vehicles, maybe sitting at the front desk. But I'm not sure if you know exactly who these men and women are. If you look, the vast majority, college-wide, of our public safety constables are retired police officers. They have between 25 and 30 years experience each. I wasn't a math major, but if you add up the years just from that slide, we have college-wide hundreds of years of police experience in our constables. Quite a few of the other constables are military, some retired military. So we are quite confident that should an event occur on one of our campuses, that our constables would be the first responder and be able to address an initial threat. What training have they had? Again, in 30 years, 25, 30 years of law enforcement, extensive training in a number of topics. Our constables have had, adding on top of that, Narcan. So should there be an opioid overdose, which we've had a couple on campus, they are trained to administer Narcan. Firearms, all of our constables have to qualify 3 qualification shoots a year, the same as law enforcement throughout the state. They're CPR AED trained in the baton, the OC spray. We have annual in-service and alert. So as police officers, you're trained for active shooter events. What's the response? Some of our folks, it may have been quite a few years since they've received that training. 2 years ago, all of our constables started the alert training. In fact, we started it at Del Tech before most of the police agencies did in the state. It is now required for all police agencies here in the state. Active law enforcement rapid response training. I know there's some question, maybe it's not a question. The officer who was on scene in Florida, whether or not I don't think there's any question at this point, whether he immediately went into that school. With this training, ideally, for a team of 4 officers would enter a school. If there's not time for that, if there is active shooting going on, our constables will immediately run toward that threat. Immediately run toward that threat. They won't set up a perimeter. They won't call for assistance. If it is one constable, they will run toward that threat. So that training wasn't just classroom training. It involved donning. It was paintball. So scenarios were created. It occurred in Milford. Again, active, interactive training. All of the constables have been, well, I can't say that. So we have a newly hired constable who will be receiving that training. But all of our constables statewide have been through that training. Every day, DIAC, Delaware Information Analysis Center, sends out bulletins, a daily update. It has information on terrorism, has information on prisoners who are being released, different types of criminal activity going on throughout the state. All of our chiefs receive that information. An example, not too long ago, there was a shooting in Maryland. That suspect fled into Delaware. A couple of the schools in Newcastle County were locked down. We received notification of that, so it gives us some information to do some planning. That was a suspect, Counterterrorism Weekly. I read this every week. We're fortunate here in the United States. We haven't, there have been some acts that have been prevented, but there are, terrorism, there are a lot of events going on nationwide. Law enforcement is doing a pretty good job of preempting some of those events. This came out shortly after the event in Las Vegas, the shooting in Las Vegas. So we're being kept, the point of all of this is we're getting a lot of information, both locally and nationally, on things that are occurring, law enforcement related around the country. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, a year or so ago, we started a vulnerability assessment at each campus. 2 of the campuses have been completed. It's been kind of a slow process, so this campus is still due for an assessment. But we initiated that about a year ago. Every classroom has a quick reference guide. Drills. You have a lot of experience with drills and actual events here. This is a photo from Ohio State. Again, we'll talk about the Run, Hide, Fight video, but part of that video talks about blockading a door. This is what the students did in that particular classroom. College-wide tabletop exercises. Each year, we have conducted a tabletop. We've done active shooter, bomb threat, civil unrest. There is another one scheduled for later this year. Again, we're taking topics that are of great concern to the college and then doing scenarios, what would our actions be for these type of events. Detective Tim Kerstetter, you may have had an opportunity to listen to his presentation that was done last year. He did it college-wide. I think we had over 500 college employees attend his presentation. A cell phone app. There's an emergency app. Not only can the students register for classes, but it makes it quicker to contact, an easier way to contact either 911 or public safety. How to report. I hope everyone is familiar with Maxient. So here's an anonymous way to report suspicious activity. You know, if you, for some reason, don't want to go to public safety, you can do it online through Maxient. And again, this is on the public safety website. And the Run, Hide, Fight video. If you have not taken the time to watch this video, you need to take the time to do it. This is the strategy for an active shooter event. Again, they try to keep it as simple as possible. These are the three options: run, hide, fight. I would also recommend, particularly if you're a faculty member, FEMA offers an online course. If you just Google FEMA active shooter, there's an online course that walks through these steps. You'll get a certificate and saying that you've completed the course. If you have time to do that, I would recommend taking that course as well. And typically public safety talks about kind of doom and gloom things, so I hope everyone has a nice day. Are there any questions? So Galen, I can tell you college-wide, faculty and employees have come to public safety after the shooting in Florida and said, can you come to my room? Tell me, what things I can do to help keep my class safe. Is there a better way to secure my room? If you have any questions whatsoever, please come to public safety. If you have any questions, what exactly should I as a faculty member be doing, or as an employee, what should I do? If there's any hesitation, you need to reach out to Galen and have that conversation. Okay. Any questions? Yes?
The metal detectors, like at the airports and stuff, are they just too much to put in each building?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Metal detectors?
Sure. Yeah, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but here's the reality. Would a metal detector prevent someone from entering our campus? Absolutely not. Would every single door being locked on the outside prevent someone from coming on campus who's armed? No. Sandy Hook Elementary School, that school was locked. You could not get in that school. All the doors were locked. You had to be buzzed in. That shooter shot the glass out, entered the school. So the reality is what we are doing, the steps that we've taken, are they going to prevent one of these events from happening on the campus? No. We are mitigating those. We're doing things to mitigate or deter these from happening. If you think about it, if you have a burglar alarm at your home, is that going to prevent someone from burglarizing your home? No, it's not going to. It's absolutely going to deter someone from doing that. So that's why I say, it's not a pleasant conversation But this is what we're living with today. And I'm not, I know I'm not saying anything new. That's not the last shooting event that's going to occur in this country. So you need to be prepared and need to have a plan in place. Yes?
This might be silly, but I've been getting calls from my kids' high school that Wednesday's National Student Out Day or things.
Yeah.
I don't know, have we thought, is that going to affect us here at Delaware Tech?
Yep. Thank you for mentioning that. Very quickly. So DIAC, I mentioned DIAC. They sent out a bulletin on Friday saying all of these schools are going to have some type of event. University of Delaware was on that list. Del Tech is not on that list. So could we have students, walk out that day? Sure, we could. They're not supposed to be violent protests. Galen is aware. Galen and Bobby will have a conversation. We will have a designated area for those students to do that if they so choose. Yes?
So I know we're doing a lot of training. I actually think, I feel like as a staff member, like I know a lot about the security procedures, and obviously some of the students have been here during the lockdown. Other than Run, Hide, Fight, is there any kind of training or like places where we could refer the students for sort of like Delaware Tech specific things that they can do to make themselves safer on campus?
For these specific events, that is the strategy for students, for faculty, for everyone. You don't want to make it complicated because in those scenarios, folks will react in a couple different ways. Some may freeze. Other ones will have that instinct to fight when necessary. So again, the idea is make it simple. Do one of these three things. We're still looking at other opportunities to improve campus safety. So we're still exploring other opportunities as well. But there's a responsibility on everyone's part to probably the biggest thing that would be of assistance is if you're aware of something or hear students either through social media or talking, don't say, well, I don't think that's anything, I won't report it. Bring it to the attention of public safety. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim and Galen. And, it is an ongoing conversation that we have. We've just had discussions last week about some things we can think about for the next budget cycle, to put in some things in place, really to, I hate to say this, but to buy people time in a situation if something happens. I mean, because when you look at all these situations that have occurred across the nation, it's a matter of, seconds, minutes, whatever. So it's really, that run, hide, fight is as silly as I know that video seems to some people. It really is valuable information. And I'm here to tell you people, and I know you all know this, is it could happen at Walmart across the street. It could happen, Bill Wood used to always say Christiana Mall. So the more we kind of get our mindset thinking that way, it'll help us in all areas that we're in, not just at Delaware Tech. So, the good news is we have this big, beautiful, open campus, right? Except for when we're talking about things like this, right? So let's stick together. Let's keep talking about it. Know that it's a regular conversation with Galen and Tim and I and the administrators, and we'll just keep sticking together and thinking on ways to improve. I mean, it's the world we live in now, which is it's very sad. Yeah, Lori. Good suggestion. Thank you. We'll follow up on that. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go from gloom. Well, no, he did get a little sunshine up there, but we're going to get some big sunshine because Aaron Schutt's coming up to talk about kids camps, I think. Right, Aaron? All right. Come on up.
Aaron and Team, sorry.
We're doing a workforce development and community education update. So we're going to do some quick updates and then we'll do kids on campus.
morning, everybody. I'm Leanne Gunning, for those of you that do not know me, and I primarily manage the allied health career programs here at this campus. I was also asked to head up as campus lead the America's Promise Grant. So I'm going to talk about some updates with that and some training that we have available at our campus here. So first of all, a little bit about the America's Promise Grant is that the college was provided funding about a year ago to provide certification training for students interested in IT and manufacturing. So I'm going to talk about some IT programs, and Hillary, my partner in crime, is going to talk about manufacturing with you. So although it is free training, there are some requirements that I have noted here on the screen. And I will tell you, it's been a little tough for me to recruit students with all these check boxes checked off. So one reason why I'm glad I'm in front of you all today is maybe you can help me. If you know anybody that has all these prerequisites, please send them my way. My contact information is at the end of the PowerPoint slide. And also we do, in the next slide, we're going to talk about the program. So we also have college-wide an IT Academy page within our website that is very useful, because we also found out college-wide, a lot of our students were confused about which campus to go to, because each of the campuses are having different certification programs. So we have a really nice portal for people to find out more information, as well as actually apply online. And the nice thing with that, with technology, well, maybe not today, Bobby, but those applications come right to my inbox. Watch, I'm probably getting them all today. I'm not able to see them. So it's really useful for me to then contact interested students and talk to them more about the opportunity. So, and also if you need any rack cards or flyers to take to meetings, please contact me and I can ensure that we get those to you. College-wide, we are also doing a lot of pushes through social media, through Facebook, LinkedIn, all kinds of different sites. So it's been a good opportunity. So under Cisco, we have 3 different certifications that we're offering. A lot of alphabet soup here. We have CCNA, CCNP, and later this year, later this summer, we'll have the CCNA Security that is actually still in development. So mixed in with some IT experience and adding on this credential can help hopefully our students who are either unemployed or underemployed get better employment opportunities. The good news is if you get your CCNA or already have your CCNA, you can then stack on either the Cisco Certified Network Professional or the CCNA Security. The other thing I do want to talk about with the CCNA, or I'm sorry, the CCNP and the CCNA Security is that those programs are actually open to people who are fully employed. So again, you have to have the CCNA foundation first, but you can move on and stack those credentials. So that is under the Cisco. And then we have, for people that are interested in database management, we have the Oracle training that we're hoping to get off the ground next month. I've been talking actually to quite a few people recently that are interested in this certification. So we're hoping to get that program up and running. This is the website that I was talking about. If you even just go to our page and type in IT Academies, this will come up, and again, it will show information about all the campuses, because one thing I've learned in working with the other campuses, our students are mobile. They're able to possibly take something even in Dover if they have something now that that student is looking for. So college-wide, we really have been working together as a team to get these programs up and running. So I appreciate any help that you can provide, and if you have any questions, you can let me know. And I'm going to hand the baton over to Hillary. Thanks.
All right, so I'm fortunate and get to head up the advanced manufacturing program, not only for the Promise Grant, but also for, we do this 2-year program for high school students. So the advanced manufacturing program that we're doing now for the Promise Grant is 600 hours of training altogether. So it's a pretty intensive program for these folks. It's classroom simulations, so they're going to come in and sit down to a computer with graphics, and they're going to go through e-learning, and then they're going to go out to a laboratory with all of this equipment, and they're going to demonstrate competencies by doing hands-on lab with an instructor as well as a lab tech. And so these folks are getting qualifications in basic electricity, they're doing tools, they're doing industrial wiring, PLC training, troubleshooting, motor control, fault setting, VFDs, and the list goes on and on. So our job is to get these folks who are underemployed and unemployed careers and jumpstart this, but it's also good if you have any students, especially in the engineering programs, electrical, civil, environmental, that are looking for another type of certification under their belt to help them careers too. These folks are very fortunate. They're going to get forklift certification, OSHA 10 certification, CPR certification, and then they're going to sit for 4 MSc, which are Manufacturing Skills Standard Councils, national certifications. So there's that national certification loop. And then when they're all done, we have to partner with DOL and get these folks jobs. So that's part of our big push right now. We are in our second cohort. Our first cohort finished the fall. We learned a lot. We graduated 7 out of 18 who started. So this is pretty intense. 3 of those folks have gotten jobs, and we are proud to say we actually hired one of our Promise Grant students to work for us, and we actually hired a work study from Del Tech to be our other lab tech. So we're employing some Del Tech graduates as we go through this. We are kicking off our spring cohort now. We started out with 24. We are in week 4, and we are down to 21 students. So we're seeing the drop right now, but you're going to see this program. Again, it's statewide, so if you have any interested candidates, we've got folks coming from Middletown down to ours. The Stanton and Terry campus will be offering it again, too. In spring of 2019, as part of the Promise Grant, we are getting the automation program, and so the same thing, if 18 or older, 10th grade level, reading math, unemployed, underemployed opportunities. So if you know of anyone in the community, know anyone we can reach out to, or any of your students, think about those, because we're going to get into CNC programming, PLCs, and HMIs. And this one is only 310 hours, but still that computer-based and hands-on experience when they leave us with some certifications. New to us that isn't involved in a grant is we are getting into the HVAC program now, and we're doing our new certificate program. Our sister campus, Stanton, has been doing this for years and has been very successful, and we have partnered with the credit side on offering an HVAC certification program, which is 314 hours. You can see blueprint reading, HVAC 1, HVAC 2, refrigeration, EPA certification. And so this does 2 things. It helps the advisory committee that said we need job-ready individuals now, and then this will be a funnel for the 2-year degree associates program. So we just started our courses. We're hoping to be awarded a DOL grant so we can build our infrastructure over the summer, and then the fall we will be rolling out this entire program. And then we're going to do general maintenance too, right? We're getting a lot of stuff going on over here. So from water to wastewater, right now, like construction is crazy. We're going to do another program, which our sister campus does again at Stanton, that's been very successful. But if you look around us with the trades industries, we see a need for general maintenance with carpentry 1, 2, basic plumbing, residential wiring, drywall, and weatherization. And so hopefully we receive that DOL grant. And if not, I think we'll be working on this anyway to offer it in the fall too. So a lot of big things and opportunities are coming in workforce, technical training. So anybody you can spread the word to and send our way, we'd be more obliged and happy. So this is where you can find Leanne and I. You can shout around. We'll be happy to talk to you more about our programs. Of course, you can find us on the website too. And now Erin gets to finally talk to you about camps.
Woohoo. Okay, so it's that time of year. We're doing kids camps, summer camps this year, and so this is my 4th year, and I'm really excited because we changed some things up, but we also have a lot of fun ready to go. So this year, it's the summer theme is called Create Your Summer Fun. We have extended summer camp to 10 weeks this summer instead of 9 weeks, and it will be from June 18th through August 24th. Our camps serve youth ages 2 years old to 16 years old, and we will be offering 2 different sessions, one in the morning from 9 a.m. to noon, and then an afternoon session from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. There will also be before care and after care available for any camper who would like to do extended care with stay with us, as well as we will be offering campers who stay all day lunch with us, supervised from noon to 1 p.m. And as always, we are offering scholarships for campers. So if you're interested in a scholarship, please contact our registration team. It's 302-259-6330. So if you would like to go ahead and contact the registration, it's 302-259-6330. You can tell I say that a lot. We will be also offering multiple camp discounts for campers who wish to stay with us all summer, and it's for more than 3 camps. So, what are we offering? This summer, we're offering, again, 3 different types of camps. We have the STEM camps, specialty camps, as well as sports camps. And some of our new camps in our STEM programs are Code plus Drone equals Fly Camp, where we're combining coding and drone together, as well as RetroPie, which I'm really excited about. RetroPie is where we take the vintage game systems like Atari and Nintendo, and we put them together, and we use a Raspberry Pi computer that fits in the palm of your hands. And just be able to show how we can come and play with Legos, with Brickology, as well as Minecraft, which is our top popular camp, and then video game design this year. We're going to be making video games through bananas, using bananas, actual bananas. As always, we offer specialty camps, which include Project Funway, canning creations, learning how to make jams for your business, as well as becoming a pop star, because we all want to be a pop star here, Pokemon Camp, and then Iron Chef Camp. Last, our sports camps are as popular as and remains popular with soccer, baseball, softball, wide world of sports, and basketball. Okay, so here's the fun, new, exciting thing we're doing this year. It's called Campus Explorers. Okay, so Campus Explorers is offering a new model. So instead of the morning and afternoon sessions, we're going to have an all-day session from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is for ages 6 to 13 years old. And basically, we will be doing different activities each day that include arts and crafts, guiding computer use, athletics, games and activities, science experiments, and field trips. And so this is for the camper who would like to try everything that we offer in the summer, more general versus focusing on one particular topic. So this is a new model, but it's just as fun. Just a side note and a whoop whoop kind of thing, we would just want to thank the marketing team, in particular Josh Salmons, who did the video that you can see on the website, as well as Kimberly Wright, who designed the book, t-shirts, and posters that you see around campus. It's all because of Kim. So thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate that. And last but not least, I just want to let you know about the record enrollment. Kids on Campus continues to grow each year. Last year, we had 1,651 camper registrations, reaching over 642 children. And I'm excited, so I'm hoping that we can increase that enrollment, and as well as I'm excited to see all the returners and give them high fives, and also see the new campers that will be coming on campus. So there's only 15 more weeks until Kids on Campus starts. Thank you.
I told you we'd be all revved up once Aaron got up here. So Workforce Development is doing a great job, and those America Promise grants, the funded programs, they're free, gang. So if you know individuals in the community that could benefit from them, and they benefit from the training, the tuition is free to do that. So please, we need your help with that. But great job, Workforce Development team. So we're going to end up here with a really important topic, and it's Employee Giving Campaign. And I'm going to ask our co-chairs, Brian and Tanya, to come up. Yay.
This year marks the college's 31st annual employee giving campaign. When this campaign began in 1987, it raised more than $22,900 and had about 30% participation college-wide. Employee participation for this campaign has increased significantly since then. For the last 5 years, it's been 95% or higher. And though the generosity of employees over the last 31 years, the total campaign contributions have exceeded $2 million, and all to support our students. Going over a few numbers from the last couple of years, from 16 to 17, you can see jumped up quite a bit. This is here at our campus, 16 to 17, and starting with 18. We really want to work to make this a more successful year than the last, like we always do. And while participation is always our primary goal for this campaign, last year we raised $97,368, which got us close to breaking the $100,000 mark for the first time. If everyone who participated last year just gave $2.50 more over the course of the year, we would achieve this goal. Some of the scholarships that the Owens campuses have received over the years. As you can see, it's a pretty good number on the bottom with the $329,000. And everybody, I think, is familiar with the blue sheet here. It hasn't changed, the same as always. And I'm turning it over to Tanya now.
Good morning. This slide, we would just like to highlight some of our achievements that our development office has done for us over the past year. These scholarships have been added since our last employee giving campaign to show that our community members are giving to our students as well. Our team captain list for this year is listed here. If anyone in the room is a team captain, if you could please stretch your legs for me so we can all recognize you. And if they haven't done so already, our team captains will be dispersing the blue sheets this week and following up with you next week to ensure that those are returned to them. This year, our focus is on your passion. So we want to know what touches your heart, what's close to you, and we want you to give to that. If you take a look through the fund lines that we have, I am sure that one of these will designate to your passion. This is in the portal announcement that Dr. Brainerd put out, and our team captains also have copies of this. In April, we are going to be sharing the story of our successful employee giving campaign with our external constituents. This story is all about you. It's about your generosity and the tremendous support that you provide to our students, both through the campaign and through your jobs each and every day. To help tell the story, we're producing a video featuring some of your colleagues talking about why they participate. While the video is not quite ready, we need to add the history of the campaign, some other facts. We wanted to show you a rough cut today. Thank you to those employees who participated in the video, and also to all of you on behalf of our students for your support of this year's campaign. So let's take a look.
We participate at such a high rate because we see the good that it does directly. Our students, our advisees, when we see the students doing well, we know that it's a good cause, and it makes us feel good to contribute to that cause.
I strongly believe that the employees at Delta Community College are more like a family, you know, and as a family, we support each other, and here at Del Tech, we support the success of our students. We take pride in that.
Working here is like a family, like a strong community, and I think that the employees want to extend that to the students as well.
I give to the campaign because, like many of us who work here, I understand that one of the biggest hurdles our students face is financial burdens and getting past those in order to have access. Once we get students into the classroom, we can make sure they get what they need to be successful and further their education, but ensuring that they have that access is one of our biggest goals.
Day in and day out is not really a job for me. I love teaching, I love mentoring, I love advising the students, but giving financially, I feel like helps support them, not only in their ability to be successful in their programs, but also, you know, it may help them at home as well, because I know a lot of our students have had struggles, not only financially with buying books and tuition, but also just, you know, buying gas to come to school. So it's important to me to try and support them so that they can, you know, get a career.
I give to the campaign because I do work in financial aid, and I see the students, and I know their struggles. And I know that a lot of them have great need for additional support to achieve their goals.
Donating to the campaign is my way of paying it forward. Without Delaware Tech, I would not be where I am today. As a graduate of the college, Delaware Tech gave me the foundation to not only continue my education, but also grow in my career. I feel that my contribution will help provide opportunities to students so they will have a more successful future as well.
I give because someone invested in my success here at Delaware Tech. The fund that I support here at Delaware Tech is in memory of my mom and dad. So the Sylvester and Joyce Rickert Scholarship. There have been several students that have received my parents' scholarship, but there's one that stands out most of all. And to see the smile on her face as she persevered to reach that goal just tells me that I'm doing the right thing in memory of my parents.
Our students are driven, and I see that. We have single moms, we have mothers who are trying to get a better life for themselves in an environment that's not safe. We have people who work the 11 to 7 shift and they come to school at 8:30 in the morning. So you just have to admire their willingness to do whatever they need to do to get a good education.
Any amount helps. I think a lot of times people feel that my one won't make a difference. But if 50 people give just a little bit, that's now a big difference for somebody. That's a textbook, that is helping to pay a fee, a lab fee, something along those lines. So even a little bit can cover something.
Every year at graduation, when we get to see these students finally walk across that stage, achieving their goals that we have been a part of all along, helping them, assisting them, providing resources to them, that is remarkable to see them finally do this, that they are now ready to go out and pursue their dreams.
So again, that was a brief shot of what the video is going to look like that we're going to share. But Brian and I would just like to reiterate that every little bit counts. That will add up to our ultimate goal of student and workplace success for the year. Thank you. Have a great day.
And for any captains here that haven't received their packets, after we're wrapped up here, we have them right here. If you want to stop by, pick them up. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank, let's give them a round of applause. I want to thank Tanya and Brian for being our co-chairs this year, and to all of our captains. And really, you know, what Mary Paris said and Tanya and Brian reiterated is every little bit, there's not an amount that is too small that isn't going to help a student. And so, you know, I ask each of you personally to give this year. You know, I'm a little competitive, just a little. And so I would love for us to reach that $100,000 mark college-wide. That would be an amazing feat. And, you know, one of my favorite things to do as a campus director is to brag about all of you. And so one of the things that I do quite often is brag on our participation rate, which is 95%. And I want to continue to brag on that. So please, the captains are going to be coming around. If you can give a one-time gift of a couple dollars, that's great. If you want to take it out of your payroll, that's great too. But we thank you in advance for supporting our students and everything that we do here. So, this has been a long update. I'm rethinking how many updates we have in a year. Remember I said at the beginning of the year we cut down on the number of updates, but that meant you'd be here for a very long time. And so I think that has come to fruition. So I am going to talk to the other campus directors about how to move forward with that, because I hate to have you sitting here so long. But I do have time to answer any questions, so we always have Ask Bobby at the end. Is there anything anybody has a question about? A couple people emailed me ahead of time, so we added it into the updates and stuff. But anybody have any specific questions? All right, well then have a super week and a great Monday. Take care.